The odd time we would go, we'd take off maybe Saturday and spend the night down along the Ghost River and then go home on Sunday. But we didn't do that a lot. But after I'd moved to Calgary, I had a friend I used to run with. We were members of the North Family Y, which isn't very far from here. And so one time we thought, we should do an overhike trip up the Ghost River, up to Lake Minnewanka, and then maybe right into the park. So we did that. We kind of planned it, and I kind of looked at the distance and thought, well, it'd probably be about 3 days, and which it was, or a little less actually. We got into the top end of Lake Minnewanka a little sooner than we wanted to. But anyways, we drove out to. My mom was still living on Jamieson Road, and had all our packs and stuff, and we started there. We walked over to the Ghost River, up the Ghost River to Lake Minnewanka, and then along the north shore of Lake Minnewanka into the Banff Park. And this other fellow, his wife, picked us up there. And it was like two nights and 3 days of hiking down. Never once saw a bear, and never once saw a cougar. I think that maybe we always made enough noise going through the bush that that they were there, but we never saw them. But lots of deer and moose and coyotes and of course, and birds and whatever else. We always, usually if we were hunting grouse, or partridge. Our scout leader to start with worked for Transelt and lived at the Ghost Plant. So one of the offices at the Ghost Plant was where we held our meetings, our scout meetings. So for 2 or 3 years, we belonged to the scout troop. Actually, 2 of my brothers and myself, and it was quite a big scout troop. There would probably be maybe 10 or 12 of us, and we went out and attended quite a few different camps, and in the falls and the summertime, camporees and stuff for the scouts. And it was interesting. We were pretty good at the outdoor life anyways, so this just kind of sort of added to it. Anyways, the scout leader at the time, when he retired, then this other fellow, Frank Wills was his name, and that lived near the Hollywood store, and he took over as scout leader. And I think we were probably with him for another year or so before I left home. I started curling in high school, and there was they were having a high school bonspiel, which they used to have back in them days, and myself and 3 of my friends from high school thought, well, let's go in the bonspiel, and only one of them had ever curled before, and so I wasn't sure, I knew it was on ice, and I wasn't sure what to wear, so I actually showed up for the first game wearing gumboots. And I thought, well, I'm on ice. I made sure I cleaned them first so I curled my first few games in gumboots, and then kind of progressed from there. But so one of the big curlers, and I know Darlene, you're going to interview him, was Reed Thomas, and he was one of the big curlers I remember in the high school at the time. And so we went in this bonspiel. We actually ended up winning the bonspiel. It was just sort of a kind of a fluke thing, where you got a bunch of people and managed to throw the rocks in the right places. But curling was one sport that I always kind of liked, and I just kind of carried on with curling after that. And of course, once I moved to CB, I curled in the one sheet curling rink, and once I moved to Calgary, I continued to curl in club curling. And even today, I actually started in quite a few years ago teaching curling, and I taught school kids for quite a few years. And when I turned 65, I kind of notified the organizations that set the schedules that I wasn't going to teach anymore other than one club, and that's the Calgary Curling Club. And so today I curl 4 times a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and teach Saturdays at the Calgary Curling Club.